I planted these tomatoes about 6 weeks ago. I've had a lot of help with my garden from my patrons. Matt S, he's in a wheelchair, and he said to me that I should use mulch and make it 3 to 4 inches thick, and that's exactly what I've done here. I've got this old baleage which has failed this year. It got wet, but it's really good for mulch, and that's what I'm using. It's really protected the ground. I don't see a weed in sight actually, and if there is, I'd easily pull it out. So I think I need to apply the same to my leeks. These lilies that grow behind the old farmhouse here in abundance, I thought would be great for a house plant. So I took this little one and I planted that probably 3 weeks ago, and it's doing really well, and it cost nothing. It's just wild, and there you go. And I bought a cheap pot from the warehouse, so that's just one way of making the house look nicer. I thought about that after I'd done it, and I thought, well, maybe I could do that with a big plant too. So the warehouse a while ago, they had this special on. It was like 30% off their pots, and that's bloody cheap. And you could buy these great big pots like for $15, and I bought one, and it's down here. And I've taken it out in where these big plants are, and you can see this pot here. And what I've done is I've got the plastic on still because I've filled it up with dirt, and I've put these plants in here, and some of them have started to die and some are okay. The smaller ones look like they're not going to make it, and this one on the outside has got damaged, and if I follow it up here you can see here it is at the top here. So that one's dead, but I reckon I'll take that away because it ain't going to do any good. If they can survive in that there for another like 6 weeks, I'll take the pot and I'll put it inside. Super Duck's enjoying the day. Got some fresh water in her pond. Here comes the boyfriend. I think I'm going to call him Limpy because he limps. He's an old boy that just can't even give it up, or get it up at least. He's been trying to mount her and he falls off all the time because he's got one bad leg. He wasn't a great choice for a mating duck for her, that's for sure. I saw this at the Mega Store, and it's made in Japan. It's like a little cutter. Like you can cut a piece of grass like this quite easy with it. It takes grass out, but also it's really good in the garden. I've got some leeks growing in here, and we'll just weed cut it with the weed snipper because the grass comes up on each side, and I'm using this tool just for that alone, for clearing the grass around the garden and also cutting the edge. You can see it cuts pretty quick, just like so. Got to make sure that I don't actually cut one of my leeks, and there's a leek there. Just clear that around from it. It's a good tool. I've got a total here of 16 leeks. David Spry, one of my patrons, has suggested I do something with these, and I'm going to show you what that is in a minute once I've cleaned this weed around them. That's actually a leek, and so is that. And these are ones that didn't survive the weed whacker. They're casualties of the weed whacker. That's why it's really important to make sure that we can put something that also protects these. So next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the weeds out from around them. I paid $10 for this at the Mega Store. $10. I've used it the whole time through my garden. That's right, Pace. You can stay in there. I didn't say come out. Hey, Pace, in your box. You stay there, mate. You just had your walk. Pace, in your box. Up. I just took him for a walk while I was gardening because he was making sad eyes at me, and I thought, yep, he's had a walk this morning, I'll give him another one. My dogs get about, right now, currently about 6 walks a day, don't you? And it's never enough. Right, we'll get into it with this. This is basically the first stage before I put my mulch in. Just going to get all the existing weeds around my nice big fat leeks out of the ground. Well, that's a little baby in the garden here. What is that? Is that a blackbird or is it a thrush? It's actually coming towards me. Where's your mum, mate? You haven't got your tail feathers yet, have you? No. I can hear a skylark above me singing. They're very vulnerable at that age. That's the plant that I want to stop growing in my garden, twitch. It's that time of year too that those guys come here, white butterfly, and they just destroy your cabbages and your cauliflower. They get into them all. I'll be after those plants when I plant them. I'll have to put the nets up or use some of that dust. I'm hoping when we get this net up finally, which has been a work in progress, that we can net the whole garden and keep them out. I'm going to replace the leeks that got hit with the weed whacker, because I had like 3 rows and there's some that just didn't grow. And also you want your plants, I reckon, coming up at different times. I've been washing these roots for quite a while, just trying to get them apart. They're quite root bound. Ah! Don't touch that. Oh, you little bitch. God damn it. Leave him alone. She's bloody following me around. I'm trying to get away from her because she makes gardening really difficult. After a lot of mucking around, I've managed to pull these guys apart. I'm going to pick out the best ones, the best root systems. That one there's quite good. If you're wondering what that little bit of brown stuff is, it's a bit of coconut husk ground up. Just keeps the moisture around them. So I'm putting that in my new seedlings, just to give them a bit of a start. And a bit of dirt over the top of that too, so the root system's got plenty of moisture around it. The native bush at the back of the farmhouse, it's got this old irrigation pipe that runs through it. And I think that originally the idea was, it's all cracked. That's okay though. I think originally it was all for irrigation under here. Take that, thank you. There's actually heaps of it down there. What's this joint do? Oh, yes please. I'll take that as well. Eventually I want to come down and clean all this up, because it's all through the forest here. I just hit a piece of that with the angle grinder to test it first. Right, we'll pick the biggest one, this one here. Beautiful. Nice. I would say that pipe is just big enough. So the idea is you get nice white bulbs, big fat ones, and the sun doesn't roast them too much. I'm going to make it a little bit longer perhaps. Ah no, that should be good. It's good enough to photosynthesize, and there's the main bit there. Okay, 31 more to go. Piece of damaged pipe like that though still can be used, so it's really recycling something which otherwise is rubbish. Of course the other thing this is going to do is going to stop the bloody weed whacker hitting these guys, give them some protection. And the new ones they've just planted to replace the ones that have either died or been hit by the weed whacker, they get a chance to get away again. They get seen a lot easier. That's how the garden looks now with all the pipes put in and all the weeding done. Next stage is to put some mulch in so the weeds don't come back up and then water it. This silage, the good thing about it is it comes in these sort of flat bits and it covers a lot of ground quickly because it's flat bits like that. It's a little bit like laying carpet really, isn't it? The idea of this is to stop the grass growing along the edge. You can actually water each plant individually. Fill up his little tube. Using coffee in my lettuce patch has worked really well. These guys have just not been hit by slugs at all. I did try eggshell as well, but it's really been the coffee that's saved the day. These guys are just basically slug free. I don't see any slug marks or glistening soil. The coffee has won the battle against the slugs. Well, good morning, next day. You can see that Super Duck's been out in the garden already, Pukiko's been in there. That'll do, Pace. Let's have a look at what's going on. I wanted to know what it would be like the next day because the birds come overnight and the rabbits and everything. And what I found is that all the new plantings, each one is still intact. Well, that one was already cut off by the whippersnipper. They're okay. Oh, hold on. No, they're all good. They're all good. Yes, Ducky or something, Pukiko's had a peck around here, but nothing's been actually damaged that I can see. Every plant is intact. They haven't been pulled out. I thought she might come along and stick a beak down there and pull them out, but no, they're all intact. So it has... Oh, hold on. We've got one down there that's looking a bit sad.
I think it's just fallen down the end. Should be alright though. Did we lose that one? No, it's okay. So really, these little pipes don't only give you better leaks, but they also protect your smaller ones from animals. And you can see the birds shitting. They've been out here, birds, this morning. We haven't got the nets up yet, so that's good. Happy with that. A couple of years ago, I took 140 bales of silage off my paddock in the front there. Cost me $6 grand to get them all done, and I sold them for around 12. So I made a $6,000 profit. Of course, I had to pay tax on that. But then, about 4 or 5 of the bales, I said, look, leave them over for me to the guy that made them. It was Tristan Graham, and I was going to sell those just to people that needed a little bit of extra during the winter. I ended up giving one away and keeping the other 4, because the other 4 they leaked, and the water got into them. So I've been able to use those as a form of mulch, and they've been really good because the seed is all dead in them and the seed's not growing up. You can see I've got this big blue container down in my driveway now. That's Hilary and Margaret's personal stuff, all locked up. Good place for them to keep it. Got a great big truck here just pulled up. So, well, there's the driver over there. He's going over to Clint's. That's where they unload all the wood. There goes Clint's dog. It's a character. Good boy. That's what we want to get. You can see all the mycelium growing there. Harlem gave me that stick knife. So we get these nice layers that come off here naturally. These big flat pieces, which makes it really easy to put a big piece over the garden and cover it up. Come on, Pace. In the truck, mate. In the truck. Up. Come on. Get up. Get up, Pace. That's a good boy. That's a good dog. That's about the only use for stick knives had this weekend. All the yellow tops look beautiful on the paddock, don't they, Pace? Yeah? Was that an excuse to sneak up the front, was it? Get in your box. Away you go. Go on, out of there. Away you go. Bugger off. Away you go. Thank you. Pace, go. Yeah, I think we made it all on one hit without losing anything off the back. I use the glass house as a sort of a nursery for seeding stuff as well, rather than growing stuff. The last couple of years I've put tomatoes and stuff in here, but I've found it's actually more beneficial for growing stuff like this. Or in the case of these, I actually bought these. They're on special, and that's when I buy my seed. I bought these ages ago. You see the roots have come right through, but I'm going to plant them out. That's silver beet. I've had mixed results with growing things with seeds, particularly wasabi. Wasabi, I planted 200 seeds and I think I got 12 plants. Although I've noticed now that what's happening is more plants are coming up in the ground, and this is what seeds do, I've discovered. They don't all come up at once. And I think it's nature's way of ensuring that the offspring of them keep on surviving. Get on, Pace. Pace, come. It's a little bit like the hare. She has her babies, like she has 3 babies. She puts them in different places in the paddock. You can come in, Pace. And that way that ensures that if the hawk comes and gets a baby, at least their other 2 offspring, they live. Pace, come. Pace, get out of there. Good boy. Stay. Get out of there, Pace. Stay off my garden. I'm going to tie you up. Pace, come. Good boy. Pace, sit. Good boy. Stay. You stay there while I plant these, okay? Stay. If I don't plant these under nets, they'll end up looking like this. And that's their mates that I did plant. And it doesn't take long for the birds to shred them. That's right. Hey, you're supposed to be sitting, mate. Get out of there, Pace. Get off my legs. Pace, sit. Good boy. Took your time. Stay. Stay there. Keep off my garden. Good dog. Right, I've just made some rough holes. Nice beautiful soil. This is a mixture of stuff out of my chicken house. It's got coffee grounds in it. It's got sheep poo. You can see the coffee in it. Really, really good. And plants go well in it, as you can see. This spinach growing beside it. Just smack it in the ground there. Break it up. You've got all the nutrition of the chicken poo, the broken down sawdust, compost, a lot of compost in there. And these plants just thrive in it. And normally I wouldn't plant silver beet right beside it because the silver beet's going to get bigger and take the sun off it. But Where this is right now, there's no sun for the silver beet hardly anyway, because it's got this big piece of wood beside it. And these plants are just about ready for harvest. Bit of noise going here this morning. Oh no, white chicken's off her eggs. What's going on? What's going on here? You're supposed to be on your eggs. The feed is working okay. Just want to see why this white chicken's come off the duck eggs. What's going on here? Oh shit, this is what's going on. Everyone's laying eggs on top of the duck eggs. And they're still warm. Right, I'll take these off here. Because these are fertile eggs, I don't want those ones in there. This happened this morning. Not ideal. She comes off her eggs like that. How are these guys feeling? Yeah, they're warm, but not. They've been off for a while. Right, okay. We'll keep an eye on that. You're supposed to be sitting on your eggs, mate. They're getting cold. You get your bum back in there. Go on. You get back in there. You can't go through there. There's wire there. You're not going to be able to do that. You're going to get stuck. Yeah, I need to come in here and pull all these things out of the way. Otherwise the sun's going to come out of here. Go on, get back in your house. You're supposed to be sitting, Pace. I want to take a bit of this wet silage that's got rain on it and put that around my plants. With the net back up and the mulch around my silver beet, they got a chance to get away there now and grow. And we'll come back to them probably in about, I don't know, 3 weeks we'll be harvesting them. My work's really been cut out trying to keep on top of the weeds here, and it's like a losing battle. The weeds have just got away. I did that a couple of weeks ago, and I did that 3 weeks ago, and already I've got to do it again. So I'm going to do it one last time, then I'm going to mulch it. Hey, sit! Stay. If you don't stay there, I'm going to put you back in your box, okay? You can stay in the garden, but you're not allowed to go in my garden, okay? That's right. Sit down. Sit down. No, don't bugger me jersey up. I've had it for over 30 years. I don't need you to bugger it one day. Stay there. Right, we'll tear into it with this and see how we go. I actually enjoy weeding. I've got the line shear out of the garden there. Time to go inside and have a coffee. And come back in and put some mulch down. And after that, well, I've got these guys, my garlics to do. That might be for another day. Gonna enjoy that coffee. One of Chloe's coffees from Squawk Cafe in Australia. And congratulations to your little baby Ollie that's been born. Born just not long ago. Your family's got a bit bigger, Chloe. I wish your child all the best and a wonderful life. And I wish you and your husband a wonderful time raising your child. Having children is the gift. They're hard work, they can drive you nuts, particularly when they're teenagers. But I wouldn't change a thing, I love them. And I think I learnt more about life from my children than anything else. Well, old mate's come back again, hasn't he? There he goes. Yeah, I can see you, mate. Back into the feeder. Some of you said make him into a pet. I'm sort of pulling more towards the Pekiko stew myself, because he's undone a bit of work I've done in the garden. Yeah, he's looking at me. He's not at all afraid to be around here. Onto the feeder. Look around here. Clay's watching you, mate. It's pretty windy. Get your head in there. Get a free feed. That's right. Cheeky bugger. I'll start walking towards him. You watch how long he stays there for. Not too long. He's going to go now. Go and wreak some havoc somewhere else, mate. Come on, bugger off. Okay. 3 times I've taken this out. This is some watercress that I planted. It was propagated, one of those hydroponics. That's how I grow my watercress, and he's pulled it out twice. What are you guys up to? Hanging out together, are you? Lovely. What's that in the bucket? What the hell's that? It's a dead bird. It's a dead bird in there. That's what you've been picking. The bird's drowning there and you bugs are eating it. Oh, you dirty bastards. Alright, carry on then. Right, we're going to take some of this and start mulching on the garden. This is my very last bit of mulch to go around my plants. And it's taken a while, but it's been one of those jobs that I've thoroughly enjoyed doing. It's quite a rewarding feeling getting your plants safe and secure. And also rewarding knowing I'm not going to be doing this again, and it'll keep the weeding right down as well. It's the last bit just there, I'd say, and we're pretty much done and dusted in the garden. Some of it's wet, some of it's dry. cover them up, and here she goes, a whole lot. Beautiful. Next thing now, be to give it a good water to help settle that hay down, and also put some moisture into the ground.
Oh, so satisfying. Hey, a hearty thank you to all of you that commented and told me about things that I was doing wrong in my garden and corrected me, and these tips that I've put to use. It's going to be interesting to see how the leeks go with the pipes on. My thinking is, with this baleage around the leeks in here, it's high enough it'll represent the same sort of thing. Hopefully keep the sun off the bulbs, the parts you eat, the stalks at least, and we'll grow some good leeks. We'll find out when we harvest them. I've got this garden behind me to do yet. These guys here, that's tomorrow's job. Got to weed those. I'm going to mulch those too, because I figure it's better to cry once, do the hard yards, like weed it and mulch it, and then leave it, just water it. Good luck with your own gardening, however you're doing it, and if you've got any tips or you see anything at all that I could have done better, please comment and help me, because I'm still got a lot to learn about this. Thank you again for subscribing to the channel, and thank you particularly those of you who've become my patron and have jumped on board that to help me make these videos. Good luck with your own endeavours in the garden out there, and be good. Can't be good, be careful. We'll see you later.